said he will target and punish those who disagree with him or refuse to bend to his will. He calls these Americans the enemy within and says that he would use the American military to go after American citizens.
Hello and welcome to What the Just Happened Today, your essential guide to the daily shock and awe in national politics. I'm Joe Amditis. Let's get to it. It's Thursday, October 17th, 2024. Welcome to day 1367. Israeli Defense Forces killed Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar during a strike in Gaza. Sinwar is believed to be the key architect behind the October 7th attack. Israel previously killed Hamas's political leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran in July, and then killed Hezbollah chief Hassan Nasrallah in Beirut in September. Biden, meanwhile, said Sinwar's death opens the door for a political settlement that provides a better future for Israelis and Palestinians alike, adding, "It's time for this war to end and bring these hostages home. We're going to work out what is the day after now. How do we secure Gaza and move on?" Kamala Harris added, "This moment gives us an opportunity to finally end the war in Gaza, and it must end such that Israel is secure, the hostages are released, the suffering in Gaza ends, and the Palestinian people can realize their right to dignity, security, freedom, and self-determination." She added, "It is time for the day after to begin without Hamas in power." Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, however, addressed Sinwar's demise by saying, "This is the beginning of the day after Hamas. Evil has suffered a heavy blow, but the task before us is not yet complete." Meanwhile, Donald Trump blamed Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky for allowing Russia to invade Ukraine, saying he should never have let that war start. The war's a loser. In September, Trump met with Zelensky and said that it was an honor to meet with him and that they had a very good relationship. Trump then added that he also has a very good relationship with Putin. Zelensky, meanwhile, warned that 10,000 North Korean troops are being readied to join Russian forces in their fight against Ukraine as part of the first step to a world war. Moving on, J.D. Vance outright denied that Trump lost the 2020 election, flatly answering no when asked. For months, Vance has repeatedly deflected questions about whether Trump lost in 2020, instead saying that he was more focused on the future. But when asked again at a rally in Pennsylvania if Trump lost, Vance replied, "No, I think there were serious problems in 2020. So did Donald Trump lose the election? Not by the words that I would use, okay?" Meanwhile, Donald Trump described the January 6th attack on the Capitol as a day of love. 5 people, including 3 police officers, died after the January 6th attack, and more than 140 police officers were injured. Still, Trump, at a town hall hosted by Univision, was asked to respond to a self-identified Republican who raised concerns about Trump's inaction on January 6th, as well as his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic, and asked why many of his own former administration officials don't support him any longer. The voter said, "I want to give you the opportunity to try and win back my vote." And Trump replied, "You had hundreds of thousands of people come to Washington. They didn't come because of me. They came because of the election. They thought the election was a rigged election, and that's why they came. Some of those people went down to the Capitol. I said, peacefully and patriotically, nothing done wrong at all, nothing done wrong. Action was taken, strong action. Ashley Babbitt was killed. Nobody was killed. There were no guns down there. We didn't have guns. The others had guns, but that was a day of love." Moving on, Trump asked a federal judge to delay the court-ordered release of special counsel Jack Smith's evidence against him until after the 2024 election. Following the Supreme Court decision that found presidents have immunity for official acts, Smith filed a motion arguing that Trump was acting in a private capacity when he tried to overturn the 2020 election. Last week, U.S. District Judge Tanya Chutkin ordered the release of documents, but Trump's attorneys wrote in a filing, "If the court immediately releases the special counsel's cherry-picked documents, potential jurors will be left with a skewed, one-sided, and inaccurate picture of this case." They added, "Those same potential jurors may not see President Trump's later responsive filing." Trump's attorneys requested that the judge delay the release of the appendix until November 14th, after the election. Meanwhile, Mitch McConnell, who has endorsed Trump for president this year, called Trump a despicable human being, a narcissist, stupid, and ill-tempered after the 2020 election, according to his diaries. A new forthcoming biography of McConnell called The Price of Power drew from years of interviews with McConnell as well as his recorded diaries. McConnell did not deny his statements when asked. And finally, Trump once again tried to silence Stormy Daniels before an election. Less than 2 weeks before the 2016 election, Trump paid Daniels $130,000 to not speak publicly about their extramarital affair, illegally laundering the money through his business and Michael Cohen. In May of this year, Trump was convicted on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records related to those payments and will be sentenced in late November. In a separate case, however, Daniels still owed Trump more than $500,000 in legal fees related to a failed 2018 defamation case that she brought against him. While negotiating the fees and interest, Trump's attorney demanded $652,000 from Daniels, who was aiming for a number closer to $600,000. In July, Trump's lawyer told Daniels that a payment of $620,000 was too low, but that they would settle the issue for $620,000 if Daniels agreed, in writing, to make no public or private statements related to any alleged past interactions with President Trump or defamatory or disparaging statements about him, his business, and or any affiliates or his suitability as a candidate for president. After Daniels declined the offer, Trump's attorney sent another email stating that the case could be settled for $635,000 without the non-disclosure agreement. Ultimately, Daniels reportedly settled for $627,500 and did not sign an NDA. That's all for now. You can find the links and sources for all of these stories on the main website. And as always, visit whatthefjusthappenedtoday.com for the latest news and headlines. Until next time, I'm Joe Amditis.